Welcome into the Scary Good Knife Sale, everybody. Welcome in. It's 4 hours till midnight here in the Mile High, and we are pumped today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead and Spartan kick that like button for me one time, because I've been running around for the last hour like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to make sure that absolutely everything is set up correctly. And is it? No, it's not. You see, I was supposed to have a link to a form for the sale in the description. And when I tried to get it to push to YouTube, it said error. And then I looked at the time and I'm like, who cares? It's 4 hours till midnight. We'll just figure this out on the fly. But before we start going into that, before we get into the Scary Good Knife Sale, I want to go ahead and shout out the people in the chat. We've got 21 people and counting so far. Shout out to Ohio Lefty Knife Guy. Welcome in, man. Thanks for being a channel member. We've got Marco in the chat as well. Shout out to him. Night Hair in the house. He says, fellow left-handed enthusiast here. You're probably talking to Ohio. I got it. Bluetooth Blades, welcome in. Good to see you. Knight says, anyone know how he plans to manage the sale? Does he pick a random person who bids for each knife at his asking price? That's a very good question. And this is actually something that I kind of had to put some thought into, because this is not an auction. It is first come, first serve. I could sell everything that I have up for grabs today, or I could sell nothing. It's just one of those things where I decided to try a knife sale live. So I have a form. I'm going to link to it here in a couple minutes, but it's a Google form, and it just has a couple options like which knife are you trying to purchase, first and last name so that I know who to ship it to. It's for shipping purposes, and then an email address. So throughout the whole live, every single knife will be available. Anyone in the live can go to that form and submit their interest, and I'll be checking on that throughout the live stream as well. It's first come, first serve, which means that if I see two people have the same interest in the same knife, then I will email both of them, and whoever gets back to me first, they get it. That's just how it goes. And of course, to anybody who tunes in after the fact, because plenty of people, for whatever reason, cannot make the live during the live, if you see that a knife is still available by the end of the live stream, please feel free to reach out, and we can go ahead and settle things after the fact. It doesn't have to be during the live. If you watch this later, I do have a sheet up that will pop up here on the screen here in not too long, and you'll be able to look at that and see what's available during the live stream and what's already sold. Other than that, it's first come, first serve. Is it going to be crazy? Is it going to be chaotic? Quite possibly. This could go down in history as the worst knife sale ever, or it could be good. It could turn out to be that people end up enjoying it and we do it again. If it's successful, we'll do it again. I usually try to get in a couple good knife sales near the end of the year. I need to clear space. I try to keep my personal collection small because I like to carry everything that I have. And when it grows too big, it's just too big. So please, you're not hurting me in any way, shape, or form by buying anything today. Quite the contrary. Any funds that is generated by this sale goes directly to the channel. It's not to pay off my light bill. It's not to make a car payment. It goes to the channel. It supports the channel and allows me to continue to purchase knives on my own without having to rely on collaborations with companies. And it also gives me a certain amount of freedom to do other things as well. Like, you know, if I have a lens on a camera break, I can go ahead and replace that. All the funds generated by my knife sale today or in the past or in the future always goes directly towards the channel. And for anybody that buys anything today, thank you so much. Whether it's a $35 knife or a $100 knife or whatever, just know that everything counts and everything definitely helps the channel. So thank you. That was a long answer. I'll switch over here in a second. You know what? Hold on. Where did I put my keyboard? As you can tell, I'm not nearly as prepared as I should be. All right. So, and we're going to switch over. Boom, here it is. All right. So I think I got everything in here. Directly below me. Oops. Oh no. I really shouldn't try to balance my keyboard on stuff. Okay, so directly below me, you'll see a list. That is the list of knives. Right next to them is their retail price, which is what you would have to pay if you decided that you wanted to go somewhere and buy it right now, brand new. So the way that I'm running this is that I listed these, or rather, I would say 90% of these are 50% off of the retail advertised price currently. And then I added like 10 bucks for shipping, because when you're selling 20 plus knives, you know, 10 bucks a pop, that's over $200 in shipping. So believe it or not, a little bit of extra for shipping definitely helps. For anything that was weird, like if it came up with like 62 was the retail price, I would just go ahead and round down to the nearest 5 or 0 to keep everything copacetic. I'm accepting PayPal and Cash App. If you pay with PayPal, please use please use PayPal Friends and Family, because that way I don't pay, you know, loads of fees as well. But also don't leave any notes that say knife. For those of you who don't know this, PayPal is extremely weird about knife sales, even personal knife sales between people. So please don't leave notes in there that say crazy cool, awesome knife Rollshambo, because you never know when PayPal admins are watching and they're like, oh no, they're selling weapons on the live stream. Anyways, as I see things sell, I will go ahead and mark them as sold. So for example, if somebody were to say, you know what, I want that Kaiser dogfish for $60 shipped, I could go ahead and mark it sold. So throughout the live stream, if anything sells, I'll make sure to mark them as we go. And it could be that this is quite possibly more than I can handle in a live stream, but I'm really excited to find out. So I hope that answers questions, and feel free to shout out in the chat if you have questions at any point in time. I'm going to get back to saying hi to people. Let's see here. What's up, Jim? Did I say hi to Jim already? Good to see you, Jim. Jim Miller in the house. All right. Greg Vanderlip, good to see you, my friend. We've got Thomas Hudson. Welcome in. And then Karen, how's it going? I'm going to try to get through these as fast as possible. What's up, Louie? Good to see you. Brasher Bear, welcome in. Charles Chen in the house as well. All right, my chat skipped. Wicked Dream Designs, everybody. Make sure you go and check out his pre-order he's got on the Nefarious, which I attest is the coolest model name for any knife that's been released this year. The Nefarious is really, really cool. Make sure you go and check that out on Wicked Dream Designs website. All right. Drink water. Welcome in. Lone Star Towboy. Are you here? I think so. My chat jumped. I'm all over the place, but that's what happens when you have coffee late at night and then try to set up a live stream. Drink water. Good to see you as well. Jay Korskinen, thanks for being a channel member for 12 months. It's his 12-month anniversary, everybody. 12 months. Jay, you've rode with the channel for so long, my friend. Thank you so much. He says, this is Sparta.
This is Sparta.
It's Sparta. It's Sparta, Jay. Ian Coates, welcome in. He says, who are we watching, chat? I don't know, man. I'm all over the place, Ian. I'm all over the place. Louis says, Rollshambo, show us the knives. Start modeling them. Sharp, shiny blades of steel. Well, okay then. Before I do that, I do want to go ahead and pin the form in the chat so that as you guys see these knives, you can decide for yourself if you'd like to pick one up from me or not. So hang on real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get that link posted in the chat. So hang on. All right. Gotta go over here. We're doing a little bit of just a little bit of on the spot tech support because my settings didn't save. All right. Oh, come on. I have to get to the live stream from the channel, which is fantastic. And hold on, guys. We're almost there. I'm going to go ahead and post the form in the chat, and then I'll pin it. Okay. Wow, that is a very long URL. Whatever. All right. And we're going to pin that. So the pinned chat at the top, that will take you to the form. And I'll go ahead and click on that and make sure. Yes, it does. And it also goes over the current format for how I'm doing this as well. So you know what? We're going to switch back real quick to screen share, and I'll just read it to you. It says, if you are interested in purchasing one of the knives in the sale, please fill out the form below. Knives are available on a first come, first serve basis. If your bid to purchase is accepted, you will receive an email from me, and once payment is received, knife will be marked as sold. The payment types accepted are PayPal, friends, and family. To avoid fees, do not mention knives in the notes. OG knife people, you know this. Don't mention knives in the notes with PayPal. That is bad juju. Cash App is also accepted if that's something that you have. Knives purchased will be shipped out the next business day. So anything purchased tonight will be shipped out via USPS on Monday. And of course, I always provide tracking information as well. Any orders over $100 will come with insurance to cover the full cost of whatever you purchased, because I don't trust U.S. Postal Service at all. Like, not at all. So I insure everything. All knives should be... Wow. Okay, so I need to fix this. In here, I said all knives should be considered new. All knives should not be considered new, guys. I'm going to fix that real quick. All knives should be considered used. None of these knives are new. Wow, that is an absolute fail. Okay, we're going to fix that part. Who does this professional channel? Oh, man. Hold on. We're gonna fix that verbiage. All knives should be considered used. These are not brand new knives. All knives should be considered used. And I will mention the condition If you guys have questions, please ask them. I'm happy to answer any questions during the live as well. Prices are set and sales are final. Once payment is sent, the deal is done. I'm not going to switch it to another knife. If you say, oh, you know what, I'd much rather have this other one, I'm sorry. For the integrity of the sale, once you pay for the knife, we can't switch that payment to another one. I'd love it if I could be that flexible. I've done stuff like that in the past, and it's always turned into a mess where somebody missed out on a knife because I had marked it as sold, and then that other person said, oh, well, actually, I saw you had this. Can you switch it to this? And then I do that, but then another person that wanted that initial knife missed out on that. So for the integrity of the sale, please make sure that anything that you decide to purchase is in fact what you would like to purchase. I would definitely appreciate that. Anyways, so that is the form. It's pinned in the chat. And now I'm going to go back to that chat. So bear with me. And we're going to go ahead and go back down. Okay, so I've got roughly 20-ish, maybe 21, 22, roughly in my sale. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few. I'll check on the statuses to see if anyone has submitted for any of these knives. And I'm just going to go from any request that anyone has. Someone asked, is the small Sebenza up for grabs? No, it is not. That is staying with me. The small Sebenza is not up for grabs. Jim Miller says, I'm fighting a losing battle. I don't have money anyways. Good night, brother. Hey, Jim, thanks for dropping by, man. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Drinkwater says, how much for Ian's Zahn? Probably not enough, man. I don't know. I don't think he's willing to sell it. Shout out to Greg Vanderlip, member for 7 months. He says, Rollshambo son better rednecked knives. You're killing me, Greg. Thanks for being a channel member for 7 months, man. Ian says, what is the furthest right Ferromonster? So this is the Ferromonster Aurora Rays, and hopefully I can get it to focus. So this is the Aurora Rays, and this one is going to be going for, hold on, I have it listed. Ferromonster Aurora Rays is $140 shipped. So these are usually around $266 before any channel discount codes. So $266 with a channel discount code. I want to say brand new, they run somewhere in the realm of $245. So this guy is pretty close to brand new. I carried it a few times. I've done a few videos on it. It's one of my favorite knives this year for a couple different reasons. The first is that it has a hand satin finish, and it's not really showing that well, but it's a hand satin finish. Very slicey edge geometry, nicely milled titanium handle scales, titanium 3D milled pocket clip. It's a frame lock. Lockup is good. Lockout is good. No issues there. It kind of reminds me of a Herman knife, like a Herman Dragonfly, or I don't know. But we got T8 hardware, back spacer. It's a harpoon drop point, and the drop point on here is so far dropped, it's almost like a harpoon spear point. Full 4-finger grip for me, absolutely no issue. Condition is great. I would consider this to be like new in box. Very close to brand new in box. Absolutely love the sunburst here. Single deployment only. The Aurora Rays. And I cannot say that 3 times fast. I come out sounding like Scooby-Doo. Aurora Rays. This is a good one, guys. Absolutely love this one. The Ferromonster Aurora Rays. It is really, really sexy. Love it. Ian says, the Aurora Rays is the only one I want. Well, go ahead and submit the form, man. I'm going to go ahead and check to see if anyone has submitted any forms yet. I doubt it, because I've just spent the last, 10 minutes making sure that everything is set up. but we'll see. All right, so I do have some forms in here first. So hold on, let's see. All right, so I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need to send some emails here. So one gentleman, and I'm not going to name any names out loud in the chat unless people would like me to. But I've got one gentleman here who is interested in the Aurora Rays and the American Blade Works Model 2. And you know what? I'll show this as well, since we've got someone that's calling dibs on this. I was on the fence about not putting this in there. The American Blade Works Model 2 is, in my opinion, the best American Blade Works knife that you can buy. My only beef with this, I have one specific beef, and this is, it kills me to say this. It needs a thumb stud. It needs a thumb stud. Now, if you're just someone that wants an American-made knife with titanium handle scales and you don't need all the options and flipper tab is good enough for you, then this is perfect. For me, if I were to keep this knife, I would have to send it to a knife modder to get thumb studs installed, and then I'd have to trust that they install them in the right spot, and then I would just spend a lot of time worrying about whether or not it was done right. And I decided, you know what? I'm not at that point yet where I'd like to send this to a knife modder. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the sale. Someone did submit the form on this already. The sale is not final yet. It is pending. So these guys have forms submitted already. Until payment is made, they will still be available, but that gentleman probably knows who he is because he submitted on both of these. So I'm going to send that email off real quickly, and I will include my I will include my PayPal. So I'm going to send that off. Give me 1 second, guys. This is the part that I didn't really think through that quickly. Like, how am I supposed to both interact? How am I supposed to both interact with the live stream and send emails at the same time? So forgive me. This email is going to be, it's going to be kind of short. Aurora Rays and ABW Model 2. All right. These models. All right. So there we go. All right. First email sent. So guys, the ABW Model 2, the American Blade Works Model 2, and the Monster Aurora Rays could be gone in the starting moments, but we'll see. We'll get back to that here in a second. Paul Mills says it's $265 firm. Yeah. So these prices are firm, guys. Now, most of these, like I said, 95% of these are at 50% plus shipping. And that shipping, estimate is somewhere in the realm of $8 to $10 per package. So $265 for an American Blade Works Model 2 is my firm price. That is essentially $255 plus shipping cost. And I looked. Finding one of these right now, even on the secondhand market, is not easy at all. In fact, if you were to look on Knife Swap, you would see that there is precisely one listing for this, and that is actually my listing. On Knife Swap, I listed this for $295. That's it. I had offers at $250 that I turned down, because I'll say this: at anything lower than $265, which covers my shipping and puts $250 in the Rollshambo Express bank, it's not worth it for me. I would buy this knife at $250. So ultimately, this is my rock bottom price for this. That's why this one is not following the 50% plus shipping rule that I have going on right now, because it's the exception. If this didn't sell, I wouldn't cry about it. I think it's a great knife. I think that honestly, American Blade Works needs to do more knives like this, and that's why their slip joint's so popular. So yeah, my prices are firm, guys, at least as of right now. If I have something that doesn't sell and you reach out to me, 2 or 3 days from now, and be like, hey, I noticed that you didn't sell this. Would you accept this? Maybe we could talk at that point. But at least specifically for this one, I'm very firm on that price. And I think that whoever buys this is going to love it. Great knife. MagnaCut, cryo-treated MagnaCut, 63, 64 Rockwell. It's a true American knife, and it's really well done. Perfect blade centering, perfect lockup. Edge is nice and slicey. It's a very sticky edge. Like, that edge is ready to go to work right now. It's a nice knife. So, I wanted to put some cool stuff in the sale too. So, to the gentleman that reached out about both of the Monster and the American Blade Works Model 2. Did I call it the Model 1? It's the Model 2. The American Blade Works Model 2. I sent an email. If you're interested in that, you have first dibs, and I believe you know who you are. So, all right. I've got another person who put in some interest on the Vosteed Hedgehog. So this is a cool one. If you guys go to Vosteed's website right now, you'll find that the Hedgehogs are all sold out. This is a really cool knife, and the only reason why this is here, why this is part of the sale, is because I have another one. I saw this when Vosteed decided to release this knife. I saw this, and I didn't wait for them to be like, hey, do you want to do a review? No, I took out my wallet and I said, here, take my money. And this one is kind of the Sonic the Hedgehog blue Damascus with this beautiful, beautiful satin blade, bidirectional satin finish. It's utilizing their top liner lock, which they have to call it a top liner lock because Spyderco owns the copyright on compression lock, but it is actually Vosteed's version of a compression lock. I did a video on where I included my PSYOP. I released it yesterday, and somebody commented and they said, well, that's actually Kevin Smock's lock. For the record, it's not. Kevin Smock was the first to utilize a piece of metal as a button for the compression lock, which in my opinion should have always been that way. But what makes a compression lock is the fact that it's a liner it's sandwiched between the stop pin and the tang of the blade. So unlike a regular liner lock, which is not sandwiched between those two, causing that compression, a compression lock is. And that's why it's stronger than any other liner lock out there. And when they added in the ability to, press that with a button, it became next level. Vosteed's top liner lock is quite possibly one of my favorite lightweight locks out there. That is a heavy hitter, especially when it comes to being able to hold up to everyday carry uses. And this one is great. It's kind of a harpoon sheep's foot style blade. The ergonomics are going to be similar to that of a Spyderco Para 3. Nice sawtooth jimping right here behind the harpoon. And I can get a full 4-finger grip on here. I've got average man-size hands, which is to say I wear medium large on the gloves. If you have even bigger hands than me, you can choke up right here. It's pretty great that way too. Blue Damascus deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible. The aluminum version of this, which is a little more expensive, has a backspacer right there, but the lighter weight version with the Damascus does not. These are all sold out on Vosteed's website, and I have this one listed at what did I put that at? Vosteed Hedgehog. I really should make this bigger. That's what she said. Let's see. The Vosteed Hedgehog is listed at 80. That's right. Okay. So to the gentleman who reached out first on this, I will be sending an email. Let me check the chat real quick, though. Louis says, Rollshambo, show me the Caladan, please. All right. So this is the Tuya Caladan, and I actually did get a couple forms submitted on this one as well. This is the Tuya Caladan version 2 with the frag milling and the black DLC blade. So the story on this one is that I got this as part of the Apex pass around group, and something that Blade Banter does, the gentleman who runs the Apex pass around group, is that after a knife has run its course and gone through so many channels, he usually does a random drawing, and a random channel that reviewed it gets it for free. I had no idea. This knife just showed up in the mail one day. I'm like, wait a second, I've already reviewed this. What happened? And as it turns out, I won this. And so this knife has been a knife that is, honestly, it's really cool. It's just not for me. Tuya's DLC is what a lot of people consider to be true DLC, which, by the way, I think is a bullshit term, because people that say that, they're like, well, if you can't see the blade finish, if you can't see the grind lines below the DLC, it's not true DLC, which isn't true. It's more attractive, but it's just not true. That you can get DLC that looks like straight PVD and is still just as wear resistant. But Tuya's DLC looks really pretty. It's very shiny. This one is nice. It does show a little bit of wear. There's a few light snail trails here and there. Nothing too major, nothing too egregious, but you can tell that, 6 or 7 channels, including myself, have reviewed it. So let me see if I can show a better look at that. So you might see some light snail trails. They hardly show up on camera, but I want to say there's a tiny light snail trail right here next to the pivot, which doesn't really show up that well. But it's one of the reasons why this is included, is because I'd love to give this to someone for a very low price that Tuya would never sell this to you for. This is, of course, designed by none other than Jim Skelton of Skelton Blade Works. Shout out to Jim Skelton, who probably has no idea who I am, but it's a really good looking knife. Contoured titanium handle scales is really good, and it's got nice jimping here on the spine of the blade. Nice jimping here on the spine of the blade. Ergos on it are pretty good. I have a review up on this knife. It's just not for me. I tried it, I carried it, I reviewed it. If you want my full opinion, you can go watch my review. Pocket clip is really nice, really ergonomical. It's a bit long for my taste. That might bother some people. But it's a cool knife that's just ultimately not for me. So that's why it's in the sale. So, all right, guys, talk amongst yourself for a second. I'm going to check my email and make sure that I am good to go here. All right. All right. So we've got our first sale. The first sale. And we're going to go ahead and take the Tuya Caladan V3, or excuse me, the version 2. The Tuya Caladan version 2 is sold. And thank you to the gentleman who bought it. I'm going to send you another email here real quick. All right. Caladan. All right. So the Tuya Caladan version 2 is sold, guys. And to the gentleman that just sent that payment, thank you. I've responded with another email. As of right now, the American Blade Works is still up for grabs. So we're going to go ahead and leave that there. So the American Blade Works is still up for grabs. The Monster Aurora Rays is also still up for grabs. But I've got another person to send an email to here. Another 2 people, actually. So hang on. I know. This is the part that I didn't really think out that well. Sending emails during the live stream. What a hoot. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and try to process some of these. Thanks for your patience, guys. All right. And it's going to be... So I'm reaching out to the person who showed the first interest on the Vosteed Hedgehog. I'm not mentioning names because I don't know if people are okay with me mentioning names. So I'm just keeping it to emails. Okay. All right. To the gentleman who submitted the form on the Hedgehog, check your email. I just sent that your way. All right. Night Harer said, hey, thanks, man. I have no problem being public. So Night Harer, thank you for purchasing the Tuya Caladan version 2. I will box this up and get it sent your way here on Monday. So thank you, sir. I'll make sure that it's insured and I will provide tracking very soon. That was from Night Harer. Thanks again. I will get that sent your way. He's the gentleman who bought the Tuya Caladan version 2. All right. And I'm just going in order as these have come in. Let's see. And then reaching out to the first person who submitted on the Monster. So hang on. And that is... All right. All right. So to the first person who reached out on the Monster, I've sent you an email. I'm not reaching out to multiple people at the same time. So for example, if I see like there are multiple people here on the Monster, that is a one at a time kind of deal. So I don't want to tell 2 people, yeah, go for it, send payment. And then I get 2 payments and then I have to refund one. So I'm just doing that one at a time. This is not the most efficient way I've ever sold knives before. But it is what it is. So let's see. I've got another one, and this gentleman has interest in the Dark Bolt Stratus. So this knife is really cool. This is the Dark Bolt Stratus. Come on, focus. It is G10 handle scales with a 20 CV blade and what they call the it's like the bolt lock is what he calls it. So essentially, this is a liner lock that is actuated by this button right here. So you can you could utilize either the button or the liner. In fact, they work independently of each other. You could take this button out completely and it would never fail to work. You work just like a regular liner lock. Now, what makes this one special, this is a one of one, is that you'll notice this one has a titanium backspacer. If you would go to Darkbolt's website right now, you will not find a backspacer option at all. That was actually sent to me and given to me after my initial review of this, because the owner of Darkbolt said, hey, I heard you mention that you wish that these had a backspacer. Well, apparently he made some, but he decided not to put them on the knives because he wanted to make sure that all the parts were interchangeable, and this backspacer wasn't interchangeable on a Arcus. So he sent it to me, and as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one that has that backspacer. So I could be wrong. Maybe if you special request it, he'll send it to you. But this one is cool because it's not just barrel spacers back here. It's actually a titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, 20 CV blade, very nice detent, nice saber hollow ground, and it's slicey. This one is sharp. It's ready to rock and roll. Action on it is very, very smooth. And this is a knife that, honestly, for the money, this could be a really great carry knife. A lot of people are afraid to use their premium knives that have 20 CV blade steel because they're usually accompanied by titanium handle scales that for some reason people just feel bad dinging up with everyday use. But the great part about this is the G10 is both tough and lightweight, and so it makes for a really good carry. Really good ergos on this, a very slicey knife altogether. And honestly, for the money, I think that this is an absolute steal. In fact, if this one does not sell tonight, I will never put it up for sale again. I'll put it to you like that. If whoever showed interest were to decide to drop out or not complete the sale, you would never see this for sale from me again. This is the only time that I'm going to be putting this up for sale from here on out. So it either goes tonight or it stays with me forever. All right. So to the gentleman who reached out about the Darkbolt Stratus, I am going to reach out to you now. And just hold on. All right. All right, and it's a familiar name too. All righty. All right. So, all right, so we've got another one we need to mark for sale, and that is going to be the Vosteed Hedgehog is gone. Vosteed Hedgehog is confirmed. That one is gone. We'll go ahead and put that to the side. By the way, the American Blade Works Model 2 is actually still available. The initial request on this turned into a different knife. So, American Blade Works Model 2, as of right now, is still available. What's sold is the Tuya Caladan version 2. The Pharaoh Monster, at least I think so. Let me confirm that real quick. Yeah. Tuya Caladan version 2 and the Hedgehog. I have reached out to the gentleman who asked about the Pharaoh Monster first. So, if you put in for the Pharaoh Monster, I have not received payment yet. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to the chat here in a second. I know I'm missing gobs. Thank you for your patience. This is the struggle of doing a knife sale live. So, Pharaoh Monster is still available. There is another person who expressed interest. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get back to the live stream. I'm going to talk about these knives so that this doesn't take all night. And then I will start checking stuff at the end of the live stream. So far, I've only got 2 knives sold. It's the Tuya Caladan, which is sold, and the Vosteed Hedgehog. Let's go ahead and check in with the chat. All right. Hey, welcome into Ryan Smock. Good to see you, man. And thank you guys for your patience while I was taking time to get back to the chat. And I'm going to jump to the very, very front. Ian Coates says, can you post the link then? I need to submit for some stuff. At the very top of the chat, Ian, there should be a link to the form. And I know it works because people have been submitting. So check the top of the chat. And it's a Google Forms link, and it will take you to the form. And you know what? I'll show for the people who have just joined in, because I know that we've jumped in the population. So hold on. I'm going to go ahead and switch the view. So here we go. If you click on the form in the chat, it'll take you here. And all you have to do is select the knife that you're interested in and submit your name, your address. This is only for the purpose of the sale. I will not spam you guys, will not keep your email addresses. This is only for purpose of if you buy a knife, I will ship it to the address that you put here. And also the email address allows me to reach out to you. So that's what the link in the chat will go to. And it's posted at the very top of the chat. So now you know. And boom, back here. So here we go. I'll talk about a few more. This is a really good one. For those of you who like button locks, this is the Kaiser Dogfish. And the Kaiser Dogfish is a very competent carry knife. I really love the radial milling here. It's aluminum handle scales with a 154 cm blade. It's a black blade. I believe that's PVD coating. Deployment options are pretty good. If you like a fidgety knife, this one's nice. It has a deployment window, front flipper, rear flipper, and they all work rather well. It does not have a single-sided pivot, which is a bummer, but it is a nice button lock. Now, it has a small backspacer right here. I am kind of bummed. I wish that the backspacer went this much farther up. It's in really good shape. I would say that this is not technically like new because there is a little bit of wear, just a tiny bit of wear right there. Otherwise, it's in good shape. That's the only ding that I can find. Very fidgety, very, very good EDC knife. Nice thin edge geometry, so it's going to be slicey. We've got a well done finger choil right here. Edge termination on here is good too. It's not too close to the plunge, so you're not going to get a smile on the blade. Action, ceramic bearings, quality of life type stuff is good. Solid lockup, no wiggle or jiggle. Nice and centered. This guy is good. The Kaiser Dogfish retails for $100 right now. It's $50 plus $10 for shipping. Get this for $60. That's where it's at. This is one that I really wanted to talk about. This is the so technically it is a Mini Katana Z1, but Mini Katana did not design this knife. This was initially a Kickstarter knife by a company called Make It Happen, who's done several successful Kickstarters on EDC knives. So this is a button lock, a premium button lock actually, with M390 between 60 to 62, titanium pocket clip, T8 hardware all the way around. It is flipper only, But of course you can do the phantom flick. I call it the phantom flick because there's technically no fuller there. Action is good. It's a straight guillotine. You drop it and it's going to bounce. Really, really nice knife, actually. Mini Katana bought the rights to sell this knife because Make It Happen had extras left over after the Kickstarter. So this is a good one for those of you who like button locks, T8 hardware, titanium handle scales, shred carbon fiber, bead blast M390 blade, and the action is really, really good. So this is going to be another one for those of you who like fidgety knives. The rear flipper is nice, and the milling is well done. If I had to guess who the OEM is for this, I would guess that it's QSP, but that's unconfirmed. They don't really say. So I'm not entirely sure who the OEM is, but they did a really good job. It's a very solid knife. This one doesn't have any dings or scratches. I didn't really carry it, to be honest with you, and that's because premium button locks are not really my thing. This is a very, very nice one, especially for the money. Got this one going for $125 shipped. Haven't checked the forms, but it is available. Next, we got one from New Breed Designs. This is the Kaiser Gavel. Now, this is a very, very nice EDC knife. It is flipper only, but it has the most low profile flipper that I've ever seen. It's kind of like you just run your finger over that area and it just... That's nice. Titanium pocket clip. I would call this a drop point blade. I didn't really carry this one. Micarta with brass bolsters. Really, really a nice, fun knife. It's very entertaining because you can barely see that flipper tab at all, and you just kind of run your finger down the spine of the blade, and it's nice. A lot of people like these. These have been in and out of stock like crazy. Some people got one. Some people wish that they did, and then they sold out. But you can have this one, of course, for, what do I have it listed at? $50. $50 and it's yours. 154 cm burlap micarta with the brass bolsters, titanium pocket clip, micarta backspacer, which is really classy. This is a good one from my friend Mark, aka New Breed EDC. $50. I think that's an amazing knife for $50. All right, chat. I've neglected you. We're gonna go back and say hi. Ian says Roll might need an Excedrin or two. I might. I don't know what I got myself into, but we're gonna ride it out, guys. My goal is to show everything. So for the rest of the live stream, what I'm going to do, and for those of you watching this on the replay, it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. I know. I'm going to go over each and every one of these knives, and then at the end of the live stream, I'll be reaching out to people. So I'm going to reach out to people on a first come, first serve basis. And that way this live stream doesn't take forever because it's getting late in some places. In some places it's, 11 o'clock at night. So the Dark Bolt Stratus, already showed that one. This is a really cool one. This guy is the Beg Knives Mini Glimpse. Now it's a budget version of the Beg Knives Mini Glimpse. The custom versions and mid-tech versions of these are super expensive, but this one's done in D2 and of course G10 with the ball bearing pocket clip. This really cool backspacer right here. Now this one is actually a very competent EDC knife and has a lot to do with the blade and edge geometry. That is a deep hollow grind, which means that it gets really nice and thin there behind the edge. And I know that some people are really turned off by D2, but Beg Knives does it right, man. Every time their HRC gets tested, it comes out on top. I believe the last time that a Beg Knives Bodega in D2 was tested, it came in at like 62 Rockwell. And when you pair that with really good blade and edge geometry, it means that it's going to be a solid cutter. Perfect centering, really solid lockup. It's got this aggressive swedge here for what is otherwise a spear tip, because This part right here is crowned. The quality on here is fantastic. I really like this one, and honestly, it's really impressive for what it is. It's for sale simply because I don't carry it anymore. It's one of those knives where I wish that I could. And for those of you who want a really competent EDC knife for, what do I have this at? It is 40, 50 bucks. Yeah, 50 bucks. For 50 bucks, this is a steal. All day, plain and simple. This is one that I won't cry about if it doesn't sell. If it doesn't sell, I'm never listing it for sale again. You can buy a brand new one for 80 before shipping and taxes, or you can buy this one for 50, shipping included. The choice is yours. Really like it. Got a couple concepts here, and I'll talk about these at the same time. So the top one is a all titanium concept cassowary. This is a Coke Tools design. Coke Tools is fantastic. We're looking at contoured handle scales, titanium pocket clip, titanium backspacer. This kind of golf ball design here on the pivot, which I think is really cool. I think it's really, really cool. It's not a single-sided pivot, but that's whatever. Frame lock here, and it's very silky smooth. The action is nice. This is a cool knife. Very swift action. Detent is nice and stout. Now, a lot of people, when I reviewed this knife, said I don't like speed holes. Personally, I'm not invested in speed holes enough to say I hate speed holes. Some people do, and that's okay. You can't argue personal preference. But that is 100% why then Concept also came out with these 80s camo carbon fiber. So this version is the same knife, but it's different because this one now has it's not the same frame lock. I guess you could call it a liner lock now, but it's titanium with this 80s camo carbon overlay, 3D milled titanium pocket clip, 3D milled titanium backspacer. The blade still is the same. It's still S35 VN, but this one is arguably way more attractive. The action on here is going to be smoother as well because instead of being a frame lock, it's a liner lock, and there's absolutely no pressure there. The deployment on it is just as good, if not a little bit lighter. And these are also a bit more expensive than the all titanium version. So I think they're both cool. And the titanium version on the bottom is going for $85 shipped. And the 80s camo carbon version on the top is going for $100 shipped. Really good knives. Very, very fun to carry. They're on the smaller side. I can still get a full grip on here. Again, I don't have these construction worker XL size hands. I have medium. I wear a medium to large size glove. So I have a feeling that the one that if one of these sells, it'll probably be this top one. I'm telling you, the titanium one is also really nice. So those are the cassowaries. I need to check on the American Blade Works Model 2. I already talked about it. We've got another Vosteed. This is the Vosteed Talarurus. It's using their crossbar style lock. It's a 14C28N reversible pocket clip, elongated harpoon sheep's foot style blade. Nice slicey cutting geometry there. This guy retails for $72. After shipping, I'm asking $40. So this is going to be a great work knife for someone. 14C, very, very nice. Like this one. All right, chat. I'm going to check in with you. I know I've neglected you. I'm sorry. Ian Coates says, okay, send in for my interest. Awesome, man. I'm going to be disappointed if your real name is not, in fact, Ian Coates. I'm just gonna say that. Is it John Wick? Okay. Joe's Garage says, sent my inquiry, interested in 3 of them. Cool. Right on, man. James Gibson says, Hedgehog, I jumped on running late getting here. The Hedgehog, man, it's such a good knife. It is definitely, without a shadow of the doubt, one of the best knives that Vosteed has come out with this year. Not just because of the top liner lock, but because of all the materials that they use, the different options that they have. The all aluminum version with the backspacer is my personal preference, and I have one, which is the only reason why I put this guy up. Although it was close. I sat there and I debated with myself over which one I was going to put up for sale for probably a good 20 minutes. So they're both really nice. Ian Coates says the sale isn't going the way I thought it would. So I'm not updating the availability yet because I find that I could probably just sit here and send emails for 10 minutes and then I'd miss the chat and everything. So I'm going to have to update things as we go. Night Herrer says, what is the knife in the middle column second from the top? I'm reading these chats late, but it is, of course, the Concept Cassowary. Bluetooth Blade says, bag look good, but I don't own any. That's a shame. That's a shame, Blue. You should definitely check out the bag knives. They've come out with some really nice ones. He says it takes a lot nowadays to tickle my pickle. Ian says I was close to buying a PJ Poller Sebenza in Atlanta, but it was like $600. Oh man. Close, but no cigars. Leafy Wiggy, welcome in. It says 3 cheers for 14C. Absolutely. It is 14C is highly underrated. If you're someone that carries your knives exclusively to use them and you truly believe in its efficacy, that's a good word, efficacy. As a tool, 14C is really good. 2 primary reasons. First is that it's extremely tough, which means that the edge fidelity, the stability of the edge is much better than a more brittle steel at lower edge angles. So it will support a really low edge angle, which means that you can get them stupidly slicey. The second reason is it is one of the most corrosion resistant steels, period. There's very few steels out there that compete with 14C in corrosion resistance. We're talking LC200N, we're talking Van X. It's up there with those steels. But unlike those steels, it doesn't cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You can get 14C on a very inexpensive knife. It's one of my favorite steels for that reason. So it's extremely tough. It's extremely corrosion resistant. It doesn't have the highest levels of wear resistance, which is where it gets a lot of flack from some people. But you can make up for that by lowering the edge angle to something like 15 degrees. A lot of good chef's knives are in 14C for that reason, because they take a stupidly slicey edge angle and they're extremely corrosion resistant. So 14C is amazing. I absolutely love it. Ian Coates says, I didn't realize the blade was polished. My wallet was on the counter and everything. Ed B. He says, has everyone gently stroked Roll's like button?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I might have time. Am I all caught up with the chat? I might actually have time to respond to some of these points of interest. Hold on. All right, so we're closing in. We're closing in on the Dark Bolt. Hey, we did. Right on. All right. And guys, I do want to mention real quick, because I'm just checking my emails. The shipping in the price that's listed on the sheet includes shipping. So that price where it says sales price shipped, that price includes shipping. All right, and all right. All right, so the Dark Bolt Stratus is confirmed as sold. Right on. Thank you to the gentleman who purchased the Stratus. I greatly appreciate it. Everyone's like, check your emails. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go in and double check on the, we're going to double check on another one. So all right, so we've got some interest in the Remette wild species. The Remette wild species. So this is by Remette, which is a company that is doing great things this year. I just wish I could get my camera to focus. This knife is really nice. Very, very classy. We've got beautifully done titanium handle skills, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip. Not too much jimping here on the spine, but that's okay. The way that the handle scales are shaped, it kind of leads into the finger choil. So that it's not what I would consider a finger choil, but I really love the way that line lines up with the handle scale to the edge termination. It's very smooth, very slick. Something that you don't see too often is inlays on the thumb stud. Look at that blue titanium inlays on that thumb stud. That is fantastic. And it matches the pivot collar as well. Single-sided captive pivot. The action is really, really drop shut. Front flipper works very well. Thumb studs work very well. And it's extremely slicey in that edge geometry. It's very nice. These retail right now. You can buy them online for 185 bucks, brand new, or you can get this one for 90. Now, I want to say that this one has had a little bit of carry time for me, and I want to say there's one light snail trail right there, and you can't really even see it on camera. That's how light it is. But I'm very specific on these things, so I definitely wanted to mention it. Very nice condition. They call this their pearlescent finish. It's kind of looks like a bead blast, but it's more polished. So it's a polished bead blast. It's a classy knife with excellent ergos, really great cutting geometry, premium materials, and honestly, 90 bucks for one of these things is a steal. So this one is nice. And to the gentleman who reached out about it, I'm going to go ahead and send you an email during the live. I'm going to try to catch up on a few of these. All right. So hang tight. Sending emails. All right, and guys, these emails are not the most professionally worded because I'm kind of rushing them. So, all right. And let's see, what other interests do we have here? All right. So we've got some interest on the on the Scarab /Z1 and on the American Blade Works Model 2. Right on. Mr. Ian Coates. You told everyone that you were interested in this. Ian, I'm sending you an email, man. Hang on. Oh, man. Thank you guys for your patience. Alrighty. Ian, I sent you an email. Check your email, man. All right, guys. So, I know this has been a train wreck in slow motion, but I appreciate you guys. James Gibson says, Remette has some awesome knives. Love the RTB. Speed holes and all. Dude, yeah, that one's not... that. I didn't include that one in here. I like it. I like it a lot. The RTB is good. The RTBG, the budget version, is one of the best budget knives that I've handled all year. For that price tag, the $45, $50 price tag, the RTBG, it could possibly be unbeatable at that price point. Not to say that there isn't other knives that I like better that are around like the $70 or $80 price point, but at $45, $50, it's pretty stout, man. I like it. Knight says, I will always have a soft spot in my heart for the 760 though. My first introduction to a nicer knife. The 760, is that a benchmade? Lone Star says, pearlescent. Borderlands meme. Lone Star says, following suit is a term used in the card game Bridge. Suit is pronounced as the same as sweet. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, the difference of an E, right? All right, guys. So my camera died, probably because the battery is not used to running. Like, I've got two cameras right now. One of them I don't have a plug-in cable for, and that's the one that just died. You wouldn't believe me if I told you that it actually... we'll go ahead and pop over here. I actually charged that camera battery before the start of the live. So yeah, that's nice, but that battery just died, which is a huge bummer. So what are we going to do? I'm going to paste over my current availability sheet to my other scene. So hang on. Will it let me do it live? Yeah, it will. I might even be able to make it bigger on demand. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop this over here. We made it bigger so it's easier for people to read. And while I'm waiting for people to check their emails, all right. All right, the Remette Wild Species is sold. All right. So Remette Wild Species, that's sold. We'll go ahead and mark that. And where is it? Boom. sold. All right. I'm checking to see and make sure I'm not missing anybody. So the Caladan V2 is sold, the Dark Bolt Stratus is sold, the Vosteed Hedgehog is sold, and the Remette Wild Species is sold. And I'm checking to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So hang on, guys. Ian Coates. I know you don't mind me saying this because I know you were interested in this one. This one is sold to Mr. Ian Coates, guys. Alrighty, Ian. So the American, I knew that one was going to sell. Congrats on the American Blade Works Model 2. All right, so boom, that one is sold. And okay, all right. So Ian, I'm just confirming with you live to save me from having to send another email. I will, of course, confirm as well. All right, and of course, I'm going to reach out to this gentleman who asked about the Scarab and the Dark Bolt Stratus. So the Dark Bolt Stratus is sold already, but the Scarab is not. So I will go ahead and send you an email about the Scarab. Hold on. All right. All right. All right. Alrighty. So to the gentleman that asked about the Dark Bolt design Stratus and the Scarab at the same time, Dark Bolt, of course, did sell to someone else, but the Scarab is still available, and I have just sent you an email. Contains my PayPal information, and once I confirm that, I will go ahead and mark it as sold as well. So there are a few more knives on here that I haven't had a chance to talk about because my camera died. My other camera, my main camera, is plugged into the wall, so it's not going to die. Ian says, I hope I sent it to the right place. You did. I got it. We're gravy, baby. Don't you worry. Mad Yoko says, if you don't sell it, I'll buy that gavel when I get the money. Man, you know where to find me, dude. So far, it's still for sale. And yeah, Ian, I did respond. I sent you an email. I did get the payment. it did go through. So the American Blade Works, Ian, is going to you. Where did I put? Aha. I set it aside specifically for you. Ian, I do want to mention American Blade Works, they don't do boxes. They just have pouches. So you won't get a box with this, but you will, of course, get the American Blade Works pouch, because that's how they send out all of these guys. So this is a slick carry. I think you're going to like it a lot. I also have a Vosteed Corgi, which is going up for sale. This specific one is a button lock. All the Vosteed Corgis are button locks. What happened? My chat just crashed. Fantastic. I hope the stream's still going. Oh man. What a live stream. You guys are champs. I hope you're still with me. I'm pretty sure you are. Let me get my chat back. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right, and we're back. Ian says, I'm good with the pouch rolls. Wanted one since I saw it. Yeah, man. Congrats on the pickup. Listen, like, you can't find those anywhere. Before I put it up, I one of the reasons why I put it up was because you can't find them anywhere. They stay chronically sold out. They sell brand new for $350. I mean, come on. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think you're really going to like it. It says, why the white box? Because my chat crashed. So the way I set this up, because I use something called Streamlabs. Streamlabs is not like StreamYard. So to get it so that your chats pop up on the screen when I select them, I have to have it go through this kind of jury rig kind of thing where it pulls it from a popped out chat in another window. And so out of nowhere, my chat crashed. The window that I had it open crashed. And so the white box that you saw was what happens when that crashes, which we don't see very often. Ed B says, what's wrong with white boxes? Nothing. Bluetooth Blade says, killing me, Rollo. Did the Pharaoh monster sell yet? No. I reached out. Check your email. Oh, man. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss something there. And I really hope, I really hope that I didn't miss someone on this. So I got 2 people interested in the Pharaoh monster. The first person backed out, and I did reach out to them. They backed out. Nighthair had first dibs on it, and he saw that there was other people interested, so he backed out. Hold on. I just want to make sure real quick. I want to make absolutely sure that I'm not missing something here. So I'm going to check. Okay. All right. So yeah. I'm going to use some first names to give people, to not give out too much information, but so the people know that I reached out to them. I've reached out to a Mr. Steve. And technically, Mr. Tom, who also purchased the Vosteed Hedgehog, technically also has dibs on the Pharaoh monster because they did reach out first and they included both. So Mr. Tom, who purchased the Hedgehog, If you would like also the Monster Aurora Rays, this guy right here, technically you do have first dibs on this as well. Since the very first person that called dibs on it actually backed out, you're the next in line. And then a Mr. Steve after that also technically would be the next after that. So Daze says, let's hit the Discord pocket check. You know what? Let's do it. And we're going to do that in a second. All right. That is Discord. Hold on. We'll do the Discord pocket check. I feel like I've disappointed people. All right. And we're going to Discord in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Here we go. The pocket check. Let's see what people are carrying today. And we're starting off with Mr. Mark P. I feel like I should know what that knife on the right-hand side is, but I'm not entirely sure. I know the knife on the left is a Serge Panchenko slip joint, which I'm not entirely sure the name of. It's not the Bean. At least I don't think it's the Bean. Are they both Serge Panchenko knives? Hold on. That's going to bother me. They're both Serge Panchenko knives. I'm pretty positive, actually. All right. It's not the Rook. The Rook is a much more expensive knife. All right. I think they're both Serge knives. Not entirely sure of the model names. It is what it is. Bluetooth Blades is coming in with a extremely sexy pocket check. Check that out. Dual titanium lizard skin TRMs. One's the Atom, one's the Neutron. Which one's my favorite? The Neutron. Absolutely love the Neutron. Would carry this 7 days a week and twice on Sunday all day. Of course, if you like a little bit bigger version, the Neutron's pretty good too. Jim Miller coming in with the carry. He's got the, what is that? The Asher Spiro, or is that the Asher Akuto? Did Jim help me out? The Asher Barlock Spiro. Yeah. Vosteed Nightshade. And then, of course, the CRKT Minimalist Buoy. And some good weather in the background, too. Shout out to Jim. One Sneaky Bee's carrying the Addicted to Knives Halt. And then, of course, that is the Sharp by Design Evo. I always mix up the Tempest and the Evo. I shouldn't, but I do. All right. Ooh, look at that. Dazed is carrying a modified microtech standard issue with what looks to be original GOAT titanium scales. Are those titanium scales or are those aluminum? They might be aluminum. Drinkwater showing off that gorgeous XM24 Warncliffe, the skinny XM24 Warncliffe. Man, I want one of those. All the great carries, guys. All the great carries. Thank you for sharing. All right, chat. Lone Star says, no email, no geisha. Ian Coates says, roll, send Bluetooth Blade, send him his email. Only fair he got the fairest since I got the American Blade Works. All right. I'm gonna check my emails here real quick because I want to make sure. What I really want to avoid is I don't want two people to pay for the same knife. So I've given notice. I've mentioned it. Blue. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure which one on this list you are. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. All right. Jay says, check spam. Mine from Rolls went to spam. No. Yeah, so check your email. Check your email. I sent on the Pharaohmonster, I've sent out messages to Knight. He passed it up. He decided to pass it on. And then I also reached out to Steve. So Steve, if you don't see my email, go ahead and check your spam, I guess. I don't know why it would mark me as spam, but it may have. Surge, Trope, and Slip 7. I knew they were both Surge. I knew that. I just get mixed up with the model names sometimes. Blue did say he was Steve. Steve, check your email, dude. Check your spams, because I did send an email. I did. I know I did. All right. All right. Blue, I got your email. I'm responding to it now. And I will, of course, mark that as sold. So the Pharaohmonster, once that comes in, the Pharaohmonster will be marked as sold. And there's the availability list as well. All right, Blue, I sent you the email with the PayPal info. As soon as that comes in, I will go ahead and mark that as sold. All right, guys. Knight says, Bluetooth for the Aurora, and then all three of us early visitors can rest happy with the new sharp and shinies. Yeah. By the way, I want to say thank you to everybody for supporting the channel. So far, this is actually, believe it or not, and this is the sad part, is this is actually going a lot better than I thought it would. Because initially, like, it was just an idea in my head, like, you know what, we could try to do a knife sale live. And you don't necessarily know what kind of trials and tribulations you're going to run into until you're there doing it. And I tried to, you know, premeditate this as best I could. The one thing I didn't plan for was, how do you reach out to people during the live without leaving everyone else on hold? You know, I feel like the easiest way to do this would actually be to set up a temporary website, but then I'd have to pay merchant fees, which I don't want to do. So thank you guys for supporting the channel, for putting up with this format, for my camera dying, for the chat dying, for the email confusion. All right. So, alrighty. I've got another person reaching out about the Aurora Rays, but technically Blue has the next dibs. So, we're giving Blue the opportunity on the Aurora Rays. And to Bluetooth Blades, check your email, bro. I responded to the one that you sent with my PayPal info. So Bluetooth Blades does have the next dibs on that. I had no idea this one was going to be so popular. I mean, I should have known. Look at how gorgeous that is. That is absolutely beautiful. It's extremely photogenic. The hand satin finish is showing up better on this angle. The milling is really well done too. Beautiful blade, great deployment, really well made. Monster. We know that they're the OEM for somebody, but they're not telling us who. I have a feeling it might be bestech. Oh man. Josh 33025 says, "Dang, I'm late, dude. You just missed the train wreck in slow motion." It's what happened. Ian Coates says, "Being here cost me $260. I wasn't expecting to spend." Knight says, "Really, Rollshambo, check out the Boardlandia live sales and try out their format. I know I'm a broken record at this point. I've missed so many chats that I appreciate you repeating yourself, because chances are I've missed so much, guys. But I truly have no idea how something is going to go until I try it. I will check out the Boardlandia live sales because I'd love to see how they do it. Keep in mind, I'm one person. I don't have a team of people who are like monitoring this. I don't got people in the background. It's just me. So to do it live, I think is really kind of an art, and it takes a bit more understanding than I currently have. I would love to do live sales again if I can master it, or if I can come up with a solution that's better than the one I currently have. But we will see. All right. And the Scarab is still pending. I'm talking with the gentleman right now. All right. So we might be narrowing in on the Scarab being sold. Just reached out to the gentleman, had some questions about payment type. And Bluetooth Blades. Bluetooth Blades is the proud owner of the Monster Aurora Rays. Blue, I'm going to get this into the mail to you on Monday, brother. This is heading your way on Monday. All right, guys. Now, before I end the live stream, because we are getting, well, you know what? Maybe we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. I've got a few more knives to show. So, let's do this. I'm going to tell everyone about the knives that are still available after I mark the Monster Aurora Rays as sold to Mr. Bluetooth Blades. Sold. Monster is gonzo. And we had a couple people that called dibs that actually like narrowed that in for Mr. Bluetooth Blades. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. But thank you, man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I know you're going to be really happy with this. I know it. I know it. This is one of those knives that I think will bring a lot of joy. It's very satisfying, very pretty, very well made. So thank you, Blue. Definitely appreciate it. Another one that I have for sale, and this one is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it's actually pretty cool. This is the O-Knife Metal 3, and it's got aluminum handle scales, full body length aluminum backspacer. S35 VN on this blade. And this blade is crazy, but this is a new release from O Knife. It is essentially, oops, I need to mark that as sold. It is essentially a exoskeleton knives design. So the same guy that designed the Riot Exo designed this. And you might be like, well, is that really a gravity knife? This is button only actuation. That's the only way to do it. Now, if you want to know the philosophy behind the button only actuation, it's actually the same philosophy behind the design of the axis lock. The axis lock is a design that's meant to be used in a hurry when the adrenaline's pumping. Did you know that the axis lock is meant to be super easy to pull back so that you can fling it out and deploy the blade if you're in danger right away, as well as be a solid knife lock, of course. The same idea is true for this. So you cannot open this without the button. You cannot close this without the button. It stays open or it stays closed until that button is hit. The actuation is button only. It's very lightweight. And this cuts like a freaking demon. That edge is stupidly sticky. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people will look at this and they say, you know what? That's a crazy blade shape. But you know what? This blade is perfect for both slicing and stabbing. It will go through cardboard like nobody's business. It'll also go through people like nobody's business. It's actually a really cool design by Exoskeleton Knives. And this one is going for $70, the O Knife Metal 3. All right. And then, of course, we also have the Kaiser C01C, the denim sheepdog. You guys know about this sheepdog, 154 cm. This one is the blue denim micarta. It's a sheepdog knife collaboration with Kaiser. And it's kind of a mainstay for a lot of people. I threw this up there in case anybody wanted a good deal on one. But it is 154 cm, blue denim micarta, deep carry clip, great cutting geometry. And this one is going for, what do I have that at? I'm checking my prices, $50. $50, and it's yours. And you also get the blue denim knife roll pouch that came with it. $50, pretty good deal for $50. Yeah, what else do we got? We got another crazy one, but I really like this one. This one is the Kaiser Holdra. This one is crazy looking. It's kind of got this a similar blade shape to I don't know if you guys remember the Brass Brigade, the Jason Grant gripper Brass Brigade. That's what the blade reminds me of. The action is stupidly good. The cutting geometry is also really, really good. This is slicey. I did a cut test on this if you guys ever want to check that out. All blacked out, titanium handle scales, S35 VM blade, single-sided captive pivot. It's not really a back spacer. It's kind of like a tail spacer, so it's really an open back design. Super deep carry clip. Look at that. Fits over material really easily. This is a nice carry. I would say if you work in an environment where you break down boxes all day long, you could do a lot worse than carrying this. This is going to be one of those that really performs well moving through, especially cardboard. Deployment options, rear flipper, front flipper, and deployment hole and deployment fuller. The Kaiser Holdra, initially $150 brand new, can be yours for $85 after shipping. All right. Oh, you know what? This is going to be a good one. Check this out. I'm finally coming to grips with selling this guy. This is the Midgards Messer Utgard Nano. Now, the Utgard Nano is utilizing CPM D2. This specific one is serialized. So this serial number is serial 185. Not only are these not readily available anymore, but the ones that aren't serialized anymore. This one is. Also, I have the only one that you will find with Timascus overlay. Now, that's not a custom job. They were considering doing a run of Damascus overlays, and they decided not to because they couldn't mass produce them like they wanted to. So they made exactly 2 Damascus overlay sets. The designer of the knife got one, and I got the other through my connection with Midgards Messer USA. So this one's great. I do have the original G10 overlays as well. If you buy this, I'll send it with those. I took the pocket clip off because these Damascus overlays are thick, so the pocket clip doesn't really function that well with the pocket clip. But if you buy this, I will of course send the pocket clip too. If you use it with the G10 overlays, the pocket clip makes perfect sense. For me as a collector, like, you'll never find this one with these overlays ever again. It's a beefy overbuilt micro knife. CPM D2. The handle scales are steel, but the overlays are Damascus. It's crazy, one of a kind kind of knife. I'm never listing this for sale ever again. It either sells with this sale or it stays with me forever. Forever. Sandlot reference. This guy, you can't buy them right now, but if you could, they'd be $170. With this one-of-a-kind Damascus overlay kit, I will sell it for $130, which I think is a killer deal. This is another one of those exceptions because I can't replace this, and you can't buy this anywhere else. So I'm not doing the 50% rule on this guy because it is extremely unique, and as of right now, it's also rare. So the Utgard Nano, if you like micro knives, can fully deploy it. I would say that if you're a fan of things like the Spyderco McBee, this could be a good one as well. We're closing in on the rest. We've got this QSP Unicorn. This is a new button lock model from QSP as of this year. Crazy cool colors on these. This one is the purple and black. So it's a black G10 with shadow boxed purple G10, button lock, deployment hole, flipper tab. Now these are not expensive, brand new to begin with. This one has not really been carried past the review point, so it is going to be pretty close to brand new in box. I'd say like new in box. This guy is 14C on the blade, G10 handle scales, reversible deep carry pocket clip. It's a fidget monster. The action is superb. Absolutely no button stick on this. Like, it is really, really smooth. And it's a beautiful blade shape as well. I believe they call that a straight back. It's going to be nice and slicey. Good work knife. 14C G10. 35 bucks? Yeah, 35 bucks. All right, guys. So we have officially gone over everything. I'm going to take a moment and check the... All right. So the Scarab is spoken for. All right. And I will be shipping out the Scarab to the gentleman who purchased it. Hope you don't mind me saying Mr. Joe. First names shouldn't give people too much information, but Mr. Joe, I'll be shipping out your Scarab /Z1 on Monday. All right. And of course, we are going to mark the Scarab Z1 as sold to Mr. Joe. You know who you are. We've been talking. All right. All right, guys. So how successful has this sale been? I would say, given the slow motion train wreck that it's been, I would say that it's actually been pretty successful. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knives sold. So to anybody who actually made it this far through the live, thank you so much for sticking with me through the live stream. And for anybody who's watching this later, I'm so sorry. I will be doing more research on the best way to do these sales live. But as of right now, everything that's not listed as sold is still available. So to recap, The Scarab /Z1 is sold. The Dark Bolt Stratus is sold. The Tuya Caladan version 2 is sold. The Vosteed Hedgehog is sold. The Remette Wild Species is sold. The American Bladeworks Model 2 is sold. And the Monster Aurora Rays is sold. If you see a knife on this list and you have questions, reach out to me, especially after the live stream. All of these are still available, so you can reach out to me after the fact. My email is rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. It's in the description of every single one of my videos that I ever made, and that's, in fact, where you can find me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit up the chat because I have neglected this chat way too much. All right. Bluetooth says, thought you had a Zon you wanted to get shed of. I don't. I wish I had a Zon. That's a knife I'd like to buy, but they're never available. And every time they drop, they're sold within like 15 seconds. Ian says, yeah, nowhere near the gripper. I had one. I had a Grant gripper and I sold it. Do I regret that? No, it was a cool knife. It was a really cool knife. I don't regret selling the one that I had, though. It helped me buy new computer parts after my first computer burned down. Ian says, everyone just buy a knife and let Roll get some sleep. Aren't you the one who's always asking me to do a 2-hour live stream, Ian? We're almost there, baby. We're like 9 minutes shy. I don't typically do 2-hour live streams. It's a lot of talking for me. Ian says, let's get Rolls sold out on this sale. Well, you know, I suppose I could check to see if I've gotten any more. All right. I've got a couple people. Oh boy. I've got a couple people piling in here for a few more knives. So we're going to keep it rolling. I just realized that one of the knives that I had listed, I'm going to bring this back up. The Heretic Manticore S, I actually did not show. I was putting all of these knives on the table and I forgot to grab that one. So I'm going to do that right now. So hold on. All right, guys. So this is the Heretic Manticore S, and someone just submitted some interest on this knife. So the Heretic Manticore S is an out the front auto American-made Magna Cut. This is a double-edged two-tone. Oops, sorry. Let's see if I can get that to focus. With a frag pattern on the handle scales. This is also a 3D milled pocket clip, which is a nice upgrade from the way that Heretic used to be doing their pocket clips. I do have to say, if you buy this, please be legally able to buy this. If you are someone that buys this knife, you're agreeing right now that you are, in fact, 18 or older, and that you live in an area where you're allowed to legally own this. So, this is a really cool knife. It is bigger than a UTX 70, smaller than a UTX 85. Action is really good. I believe that you either know that you like Heretic knives or you know that you don't. But they're an American-made knife company that I'm a big fan of. I also like microtechs. And I can tell you that this one is every bit a great EDC friendly OTF switchblade that I can't get into focus. There we go. Very snappy. It's not failed on me once since it came in. And it's very, very easy to handle. This one is serial number 3278. Bang. So, gentlemen just provided some interest on that, I'm going to go ahead and reach out. And then also I've got a couple people interested in the Kaiser gavel. All right. So Mr. Cliff, I am reaching out to you about the Heretic Manticore S. All right. All right, and that is 150. All right, sending an email right now. So hang on, man. All right. So, Mr. Cliff, you know who you are. I have sent you an email. And shout out to Mad. Is it Mad Yako or Mad Yoko? I feel like I'm always going to get that wrong. Got an email from you as well. Thanks for reaching out, brother. All right. So, I do have people that are technically in line for the Kaiser gavel right now. So I'm going to reach out to the next person. The Kaiser gavel, this guy right here, new breed EDC design. Very, very nice carry. The flipper action is ridiculously entertaining because it's the most low profile flipper I think I've ever seen. And you just run your finger over the spine of the handle scales and it flips out. Very nice. Very nice. So I've got a couple people interested in that. The first person who has dibs is, his first name is Kevin. So Mr. Kevin, you reached out first. I'm going to be sending you an email that will contain my PayPal information and confirmation. And guys, just so you know, the form includes your address. So I'm going to ship to the address on the form. And I always document these things as well. So I copy and paste into my shipping manager, and then I print the label here. Based off of what's there, I will copy and paste. If you'd like to double confirm your shipping address, you are definitely welcome to do that. I will be providing tracking numbers for everybody who purchased a knife today. So Mr. Kevin, I'm reaching out to you next about the Kaiser gavel. So hang on. All right. Emails during a live stream. Why not? All right. All right. So Mr. Cliff has decided to pass on the Manticore S, so it is still available. He says, I really wanted a single edge. Totally understand. Totally understand. So the Manticore is still available. The gavel is going up for sale. I will be waiting to hear back on that. Ian says, damn, Roll putting me on blast. It is. I mean, we knew in the chat. We knew in the chat. All right. I'm just double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. Rebel Rouser 777 says Cassowary 80s camo. Can you show it? Oh yeah. So this guy right here is absolutely gorgeous. This is the Coke Tools Cassowary, and that is actually 80s camo carbon fiber. Concept bought a stock of camo carbon fiber, all thanks to Lefty EDC and Devo Knives for making that suggestion to them. Devo Knives is 100% the reason why Concept now owns a supply of camo carbon fiber, and I can tell you that that was a really good move from them. No speed holes on this one, no interruptions. It is a liner lock instead of a frame lock to allow for that overlay, although honestly it still feels like a frame lock. Guess you could call that a bolster lock. There you go. The best of both worlds. Very smooth action. You can never put too much pressure on the lock bar. This guy is absolutely beautiful. And it's one that, again, I won't be sad if this one doesn't sell. I almost didn't list this one. I'm actually surprised that no one's picked this up yet. But it's really good. This one's going for $100. Boom. The Concept Cassowary with the 80s camo carbon fiber. If you were to buy this one brand new, it'd be just shy of $200. So $100 shipped. It's yours. Hey, Kevin Smith and Knives. Welcome in, man. EDC and Lace. Good to see you. Guys, make sure to go ahead and check out Lacey, aka EDC and Lace, on Instagram. Ian says, "Get the gavel sold." I keep forgetting. I need to check my emails and make sure that I'm not missing. So let's see here. All right. So I'm just double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything, guys. And in case anyone reaches out, again, the form is going to stay up after the live stream. So, for those of you who might reach out after the live stream, know that anything that's not sold as of this moment is still available. I don't typically do 2-hour long live streams, but it's the least I could do given the slow motion train wreck that was the Scary Good Knife sale. And would you believe it or not, I have more video editing to do after this as well. Knight says, pop back in to see how the sale went. Seriously tempting me with the Cassowary would be a nice pickup for the wife. Yeah, it's a great knife. I'm not super motivated on this one, but I wanted to throw some cool stuff in this sale. This is a really good knife, and I love the 80s camo carbon fiber. It's decently slicey for what it is. And if you don't have XL size hands, you could probably get a full 4-finger grip on here like I can. I've got medium size hands. This would be a great carry, especially for someone without extra large size gloves. It's very cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and call it on the Scary Good knife sale. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who, again, everyone who showed up, everyone who bought a knife. Anything that you see on this list, and I'll pop it out here, that's marked as available is still available. You can feel free to reach out to me at rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. And anything that's currently marked as available is still up for grabs. I still have to confirm a few payments. So even though the live stream is ending, if I've reached out to you about a knife that you've expressed interest in, or if you've expressed interest in another knife and I haven't addressed it yet, give me an opportunity to send an email as well. But guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I think we'll do another live sale again at some point. Maybe it'll be before the end of the year. Maybe not. It all depends on how well we can lock down this format. So I'm going to take Mr. Knight's suggestion. I'm going to look at how other channels have successfully done live knife sales. So thank you guys so much. The Grinch says, hey, I put a bid in for the Midgard. All right. I will reach out to you after the live stream, my man. Absolutely. I've got to check on that and make sure. So if you put in a bid, even though the live stream is ending, I will be reaching out. So just to confirm, before I end the live stream, I still have a Kaiser gavel to hear back on from Mr. Kevin. And if Mr. Kevin doesn't get back to me on the gavel, then it'll go to Mr. James. And then the Kaiser Holdra to a different Kevin, and then the Midgards to a Mr. John. So these are the people that I'll be reaching out to after the live stream, but I am going to go ahead and call it a night. Those are the people who I have form entries for as of right now, who I'll be reaching out to. So if I mentioned your name, keep your eyes peeled on your email. I'll be communicating via email. But thank you guys so much. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your weekend. Other than that, I will catch you on the flip side.